What's good, YouTube? Welcome. It's Ignorance is Bliss. I'm your boy, Indica Bendica, joined by
Cash Money, baby.
And today we got something. We already heard about that Epstein's list, man. Everybody's favorite smart nigga in the wheelchair was on it. Today's video is by Vice about sex parties of the mega rich. Not the normal rich, like you would think a Kid Cudi or, you know.
Is Kid Cudi rich?
Normal rich, it's not mega rich.
I don't know how much.
I feel like it. Shit. Honestly, at this point, I feel like I'm rich, nigga. I pay taxes.
I'm about to say, what classifies you as rich?
Nigga, like when you put in that file your fucking return, nigga, you don't get nothing back.
I've been rich for a long time. Nigga, that's what the.
Hey, bro.
That's the barometer for rich.
If you file your return and that shit say, oh, you rich, bro.
The hotel industry is a wild experience that helps you understand how disconnected the wildly wealthy are. I've seen the darker side of humanity: suicides, murders, spousal abuse, human trafficking. That shit stays with you for a long time. One weekend, a large group of around 60-ish people, they wanted to purchase out the entire hotel so they could just turn it into a giant orgy. The cost about the property was upwards of $250,000 for 2 nights at a time. That says you've got money to spend. They left a nightmare room. Blood, feces, semen stains. One of my bellboys came up and was like, I've got a black light, I'm curious. He turned it on and I remember we looked down and saw all the stains, we looked to the sides and saw them on the wall. At one point in the bathroom, we looked up and saw them all on the ceiling and we were just like, How do you do this? This is not human. Were you on the ceiling? I worked as an operations manager for around 10 plus years. I've worked in hotels where the average daily rate is anywhere from like $99 and then all the way up to boutique properties where the average cost is around $1,400 per night. In general, the higher up the price value, the more common it is to be treated like you're less than human. The people who are coming to visit you, famous pop stars and Russian oligarchs, they have a private plane that they get in a private vehicle with all tinted blackout windows. Sometimes they have security squads. They'll snap their fingers at them. Very large sense of entitlement where if they approach the desk, they are the only thing that exists to you in that moment. And that's what they came to expect from that level of entering a luxury hotel. Most people who visit...
So, just listening to him, first off, there's clearly a level of... I mean, of course you're going to have privacy in there because of what he does. He's as a hotel manager. Mm-hmm. But there has to be a certain lack of moral when it comes to doing something like what he does, especially if you know, because there obviously is a correlation between degeneracy and wealth.
Right.
There has to be, because you always hear the most rich people do some of the most fucked up shit.
Right.
So there has to be, so once you get a certain level of money, of course you're going to be, I'm not going to say of course, because everybody's not going to do it.
Right.
But I feel like, let me address that. Why do you think that the more money you get, the more degenerate you are? Or the more fucked up shit you do?
I think because you see a lot of people, how people act for money. So the fact that you have it, I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I haven't reached that part of life. I don't know what would make somebody, it has to be part of like an upbringing thing, really. It has to be something you're taught.
Do you agree with the statement that money does not change you? It just amplifies who you already are? So it's like if you already are this type of person, when you're poor or when you don't have money, you're just going to be more of that person when you do have money. It doesn't necessarily make you a better or worse person. It just gives you more options to do the shit that you already wanted to do in the first place.
Yeah, basically, I feel, I guess that's a true statement. Unless you are just a shitty person deep down and you didn't have the funds to be a shitty person. So you...
Or you could have already been a shitty person, but you just didn't have the means of doing it at the capacity that you can now that you have the money.
True. At the end of the day, all that shit is currency. It shouldn't shape your personality. You know what I'm saying?
It honestly has no value.
Yeah.
The value is what we put on it.
Yeah, honestly.
What we put on it is what actually makes it what it actually is. I think that, especially when you get into any type of business to where you're dealing with people who make a lot of money, and not like oh, come in here, he makes $500,000 to $1 million. I'm talking about private jet owners, motherfuckers who 500 million, $1 billion. I feel like once you get into working with those type of people, a lot of these workers, like their morals can become really skewed.
Boutique hotels are not coming for business. They're there for pleasure. There was a group of fabulously wealthy individuals. You can definitely get a sense of how much wealth they actually have when they're talking about things like buying a fleet of Boeings in the lobby casually. They would buy out this entire property. They were spending as much as a luxury wedding. And it was basically a giant swingers orgy. We'd have people having sex in the pool, people laying on our wine bars naked, a couple having sex on a balcony in plain view. So you're looking up at it, quite an angle. And every single room would have a different theme and a safe word posted outside of the door. The one that stands out to me was there's a mermaid themed room. It was actually kind of impressive, the details they went, so it was very like under the sea vibe. There was the Wild West room. There was the straight up BDSM room. One couple we had to talk to while they were naked. They would purposely wait to start having sex until housekeeping wanted to clean the room. They wanted somebody to watch. The day after they had all departed, I got a call from housekeeping saying that one of the showers is busted, and I go take a look at it, and they had hacksawed off the actual shower piece, the shower head, and attached a 4-foot long anal probe hose to it, with multiple settings on the other end.
What do you think?
They just left that shit there? Or like...
Well, yeah, of course. They have the money. Okay. Somebody got to clean it. You can't really put it on one person. You just put it on whoever.
So, like, you just get nastier the more money you make? You just want to do nasty shit to yourself or your loved one?
I don't know if that's the right question. Why is it that the more money you make, like I said, the more degenerate you get? He said like fleet of Boeings. Those are airplanes. So it's like so you have, that's billionaire status. Like you have ridiculous money.
Is it just because you just feel you an elitist? You can do whatever you want. What if money is really the only thing that can deter you from doing something, but you have basically an unlimited amount of money?
A lot of these things be bored.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So it's like, I have so much money, right? Everything legal and fun that you can do, I've done it. Mm-hmm. So 9 times out of 10, what happens? You start doing illegal shit. You start doing shit that is not, morally right.
Right.
That's why a lot of these motherfuckers who get into the S trafficking game, like they're people with this type of money. Because they can afford it. They can go. They have routes and shit to where they can actually pay for a person. Mm-hmm. Granted, like no human should be paid for, exactly.
but there's prices that people will pay.
And that was as disgusting as you can imagine. After all of the drama and mental scarring that we put up with for this orgy buyout group, probably between about 30 staff, I want to say we made $20 in tips. I found myself on more than one occasion getting stuck in awkward situations between husbands their lovers, and then the actual wife. The worst case scenario was husband and wife shared credit cards naturally, and she started seeing the hotel show up on the books, and she stormed in and like slammed bank statements down. It's like, I know my husband's here, you guys are lying to me, we have to just say, you know what, I'm so sorry, we don't have anyone here by this name. And meanwhile, we could literally hear them having sex upstairs. Apparently she didn't notice the sounds were familiar to her, which might be a sad statement on their marriage, actually. The problem with working with the fabulously wealthy is that they often assume that the staff is there at their beck and call regardless of what the request is. It was really common for the high rollers to approach attractive staff members and essentially just ask them, hey, if I pay you X amount of dollars, will you meet me in my room later tonight and knock my brains out? That's a quote from someone, sadly. We had a very busty, gorgeous front desk woman at one hotel, and someone came down and offered her quite a bit of money in front of management. And at the moment, she naturally declined. I have security cameras in all the halls, and seeing that person sneak out around 2 a.m. was definitely a little suspicious. The most shocking example was an incident where the wedding was around 2 p.m.-ish that day. Come nightfall, one of our event staff slept with the wife and ended up getting caught. It turned into quite a big deal with screaming and shouting and all this stuff. He hid in a bathroom in a supply closet until the heat died down, and then he just walked into the front office and clocked out like nothing ever happened. His mom had...
I clapped the wife and kept my job. That's P. I don't care, bro.
That's P?
That's P.
I don't know. I mean, hey, what's P?
P is pressure in this situation. Cause that man applied pressure.
That's what they ain't. These women were like, hey, you ain't applying enough pressure. Obviously, he did. That nigga hit in the closet.
That nigga hit in the closet.
Until the pressure went down.
Until the pressure went down.
Nigga hit in the closet until the pressure went down. Nah, that's crazy, bro. And the fact that you ain't lost your job, but you was out of sleeping with this.
On the clock. Nigga got cheeks on the clock.
Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. Imagine you just get married. I love you. I love you too. We say our wedding vows. And then the nigga's knocking your shit out.
I thought he was
not your husband.
I thought he was my husband. I was drunk. He was wearing all black. I thought it was my husband.
Yo, the type of fucking... That's some low life shit.
What do you do?
Immediately
she already got her bag, so...
No, she didn't?
No, she
How long after a marriage can you immediately be like, nah, I want to nullify this before that shit takes effect?
I don't know. I do not know.
I wonder that, because I wouldn't... It can't be, like, immediate. Because I'm sure there's paperwork and shit you have to file.
Man, I don't know.
Because the ceremony is just the ceremony.
Right, yeah.
That's not the paperwork that says we have to get married. We have to go through
that paperwork shit before the ceremony, no?
Yeah, I would assume that you would. But if I catch this bitch cheating on the night we doing the ceremony,
to be in charge of events, so she made sure he didn't get terminated. The demographics of the staffs who work at hotels are usually pretty evenly split. If you're an attractive white person who speaks English quite well, you're probably going to be reservations, front desk, something visual. If you're not of that ethnicity, just because they have an accent and that might not present well to your guests, your most likely bet is that you're going to get placed in housekeeping. If you're working at a decent property, you could probably get $10 to $15 an hour as a front desk host. If you're housekeeping, you're maybe getting 9 to 10. It was wildly unfair. We were actually advised to handle our housekeeping teams under the concept of divide and conquer, telling them, oh, well, so-and-so's team's much better than yours. You should really try to keep up with the Mexican team. It creates that toxic environment. This prevented the entire housekeeping team from uniting together and presenting concerns. And I saw that kind of model in multiple hotels. In retrospect, I can safely say that the hours they made me work, the wild situations you'd run into, it's a miracle that I never got in a really bad car accident commuting. It slowly burns you out in a way that you can't explain until you're out of it. You just kind of know something's wrong and you're not happy. The biggest thing that the public doesn't understand about the hotel industry is that there are wild things happening behind closed doors every single day. Fabulously wealthy individuals are wild. Everything happens behind closed doors at hotels.
Hey man, what you think about this video, bro?
I thought it was a little whack, not gonna lie to you. He gave us really no insight of some shit that we already know.
That's what I was thinking. Like, he didn't really say anything I didn't know.
Say nothing. He could have really took the fucking mask off.
Nah, because he don't want to, because he probably still works in the hotel industry.
We don't care, Jeff.
So, yeah, listen, Jeff, hey, take that shit
Take
off,
that
bro.
shit off, bro. You ain't
Yeah,
saying nothing.
and nigga stand on business if you gonna say what you saying.
Yeah, you gonna come out here snitching, bro. Just
Stand
snitch
on
with your
business,
face
bro.
out, bro.
Stand on business. Say it with your chest. Let
Who
niggas
you
know who you know. Since you know all these sex parties,
Right, yeah.
he probably done within a couple of.
Yeah, I'm about to say he definitely tapped in.
Exactly. Yeah. Now I don't know if he tapped in. He got tapped.
Oh Lord, what were your thoughts on that though, man?
Yeah, he didn't tell us anything we didn't know, bro. I know as you get more money, you get more degenerate, or not necessarily, but it becomes who you are.
Yeah.
And a lot of people with money often think that they're above everything else, and for all intents and purposes, and a lot of times they are. The more money you have, the more shit you can get out of, and especially if you are the right color for, whatever. But that's a whole different discussion. What I will say is that you see why in America so many people do shit for money.
Yeah. They don't care, bro. Niggas will sell their child if the price is right.
No ball barker. But, hey man, what's that saying?
Stay black, don't crack.
Check out some more of this great content.
Please, it's over here or somewhere.
We'll catch y'all next one, bro.
Peace.
Without you hush, I have visions of your touch. I got lust for life for us, so replace the lies with trust. Call up Nano, that's your brother. Tell him favor me or hate it. I done snatch your sister up.